investment. They're a great way to put your money towards something that's passive and doesn't need a lot of maintenance and will have a great return. But just going into this deal, it takes place, like I said, in Chester, in Sanpete County. Chester is located between Moroni and Ephraim. So if you're commuting from Provo, you're looking at maybe about an hour to get to Chester. The lot that we're looking at is 38.5 acres. It's located off of Highway 132, and it's just north of Ephraim. And Ephraim, as many of you may know, is where Snow College is located. It has a population of just above 5,000. And from Snow College, this lot is going to be 8 to 10 minutes. But what we're looking to do for this project is to develop the first 5 acres, 4 storage units. We're going to be building those in phases. I'd like to get to more details about demographics first off. So in Sanpete County, there's a population of about 30,000 people, where as of last census, 28,561. The median age, and a lot of it has to plays into Snow College being there, is 33 years old, just above that. Average earnings are around 33,000. Average household income is 55,820 a year. And then as of, if I look at this graph right here, so as of around 1960, 1970, you can see a steady population increase over time. We expect to see this population continue to go up, especially since there's such a high influx of people moving into Utah currently. Land is getting very expensive in Utah Valley, and we foresee many people moving to these more agricultural urban areas. So the plan is to bring in investors, in both non-accredited and otherwise, for $1 million to purchase the land and fully develop the units. This is kind of one render of how those storage units may look. We have planned to develop over 100 storage units on these 5 acres. The storage, like I said before, will be built in phases. So we'll start with, maybe 20 or so, 40 units, and then we'll build from there. And then we'll also land bank the remaining 33 acres on the plot. And just to speak a little bit more on that, and I'll get into it in further detail. If you look at Ephraim, for example, which is just 6-8 minutes away, it's got a lot of young college students. If you ask anybody that goes to Snow College, what fun things are there to do in Ephraim? They'll be like, I have no idea. I don't think there is any. So we may be looking, as part of, playing into that, to add some kind of recreational space on these 33 acres. But again, I'll go into further detail.
Can I clarify one thing?
Yeah, go for it.
So, last time when we may have mentioned to you guys this project, the numbers were a little bit different, but it's because we've done some more research and we found out we actually, we're looking at doing, the first phase 1 would be 100 units, phase 1 of this project. And we've already mapped it all out. We know exactly what the cost will be for all that stuff. But what we were looking at was the fact that we could actually, and by the way, the 100,000 would be enough to buy the land and finish the construction. So once again, it's kind of a safer project. So no matter what happens, there's no debt on the land, no debt on the project, right? But when we're looking at this project, and we're looking at the fact that there's also a need for RV parking, boat parking. We're looking at some of the numbers and the return on per square foot on some of the covered parking for RVs and boats, and it's very lucrative. It would be worth so phase 1 with 100 units would be just 100 units covered, right? Just structured, right? But we're looking at potentially doing more of the RV parking and boat parking and doing some, just gravel areas to be able to capitalize on some of that stuff right there too. So that's one thing that I wanted to just to clarify. And then, and the fact that it would be by land banking, by the way, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that term, but what that means is, so because it's all paid for, right? So the investors would own the entire project. So we're talking about, you would get the storage units, which would produce enough cash flow to give you a nice return. But on top of that, you would have 32, 33 acres just sitting there and waiting for an opportunity.
And that land's only going to appreciate.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Anybody that's involved in land development will tell you a great deal for land is when you're getting about $1 an acre, $1 per square foot, right? $1 if you do the math on this lot, you're getting like pennies per square foot to purchase this land. So it, you know, you buy at that really low point, and then people keep moving into the area, that land's gonna appreciate and your property value is gonna go up substantially. So that's kind of the basic outline for the plan. Now, I don't want you to concern you guys too much with the information here. It's a lot of information, but as you can see, we got listed out Ephraim, Spring City, Mount Pleasant, Moroni. These are all self-storage unit facilities that exist within these towns, kind of in the vicinity. We're looking at anything within 13 minutes of this lot. But the main thing that I want to draw attention to here is that almost all the storage is on a waiting list. You might have maybe one spot here or there that's currently available online, and I looked at this probably a couple weeks ago when I got this information together. Like, there might be nothing available at the moment. And if you call up any of the facilities and ask them, hey, when's the storage going to be open? When can I get my stuff in there? They'll say, I have no idea. Average amount of time for a tenant's about 18 months, or you know, somebody using the rental space to store their stuff. But really, that's an estimate.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that just this weekend on Sunday, I decided to go to the park to Ephraim again. And this time I decided to go to every single storage unit facility that's there. To put it bluntly, I mean, it's garbage. What's out there is garbage. Like, what we have visualized, like our vision for this is so much better. Like, the nicest facility, and these are all pictures I took, the nicest facility was probably this one right here, but they all have problems. So for example, because, you know, we've researched this thoroughly, right? And cameras are important, lighting is important. 60% of the people that rent these storage facilities are women, and security is important, right? You want to feel safe when you go and drop off your stuff or pick up your stuff. And out of all these facilities, there was one that was, like I said, it was this one here. It was mediocre, but none of them really have any outdoor lighting. And if they have anything, it's just one little lighting fixture for this, you know, plot of land that's like, you know, acre and a half, or a couple of little lighting fixtures just scattered around. Cameras are almost non-existent. There was one facility that had a handful of cameras, and that was about it. And then as far as parking for boats and RVs, I don't want to go into the complexities of it, but they're not really doing a good job of catering to that market. So we're coming in with kind of big city ideas, kind of, you know, looking at some of the stuff that you see in Provo, Salt Lake City, or right, and looking at those structures, those designs, and coming in with, you know, all the latest technology with cameras, lighting. We have tons of space, so we can make it easy for people to park their RVs or boats and all that good stuff. It really is a great project. It's approximately 5-6 minutes, this plot of land is from the Walmart that's there in Ephraim. So yeah, it's a great little project.
Yeah. And just speaking to development projects such as these, oftentimes when somebody's looking to do storage units, they look at available parcels and they see, oh, I have 2 acres available, I'm going to throw some storage units on there. But they don't account for the amount of space that you're going to want to put in between your storage units for through traffic. You want to be able to make sure that people can pass both ways through the storage units. Ramon, anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, no, and we have, that's the beauty of this project, is we're working with, we say we have 5 acres allotted to this project, but if, depending on how things go, or if we see that we gotta, you know, we need an additional acre, well, it's no big deal. We have 33 to just grab from, right? We own all of it, right? We as the investors own all 38.5 acres, so if we need more land, we can do that. And that's one of the common mistakes a lot of developers will make, is they want to do storage units and they see 2 acres and they start planning and scheming and trying to put it all together, but then they have to, you know, kind of make it, like he was saying, make the distances between the storage units smaller, and then it's tough. It's tough if you have a boat, right? If you go online and you watch some of these videos, YouTube videos on storage units, that's one of those mistakes that are very common, is that they want to crunch as many units as possible, right? Because it's all about your return on per square foot, right, that you're renting. And in the process, you end up making it difficult for the person that's your customer, right? So we don't have to worry about that.
Any questions thus far? No?
I love those containers.
Oh yeah. No, and this is something that we might consider as well, is storage containers. Yeah.
Well, and by the way, and it's funny, but this is becoming very popular. So the idea is that we would have this type of structure, but we might consider some of this for some of the areas, and that would be maybe a little more affordable. And they're actually quite safe. It's funny, they actually some already pre-built, already brand new, right? So they're not used containers, and they're designed specifically for storage units. But it does look funny though.
Just the name.
Hey, just to make a comment on that,
Yeah.
because I was really irritated, there's a new unit at Bear Lake of storage units that I have my boat in. It's 25-foot ski boat. And they came in and they put in 2 more rows of units, and I had to pull it out because I can't back it in.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, and he said, well, no other boats have problems, so it's just your problem. Okay, I'll just leave, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it is a crazy mentality of trying to squeeze in
It is.
every foot you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you need it, like, or somebody needed it.
I'm not going there to put it though. That's a long.
I'm sure you travel to Ephraim all the time.
I was about to offer you a whole acre in front of you.
There we go.
Well, exactly. We'll build to accommodate for as much space as needed to allow for full maneuverability of RVs, boats, any other vehicles that might be stored on site. And this is kind of a view of the parcel as it stands. I'm not going to go too far into it, but this is right off Highway 132, right? And this is as you look out, should be to the west, right, into the property, right? And then it goes for a ways because it's kind of a long rectangular plot. And it's a full 40 acres.
The electricity's close by. You can see there's a house right there, right? And like I said, it's a major highway, so it's flat. It's mostly flat. I mean, there might be some minor divots, so it'll be easy to get it to where you can start putting in storage units.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm not going to go too far into this either, just because we have specified we're going to be changing up the layout. But this is kind of a proposed site layout, or how it could look in theory, right? We have different storage unit sizes. This purple represents 10 by 5s, 10 by 10s, 5 by 5s, 20 by 10s, and all of these come with different rates that we can charge our clients as well. The average charge for storage units in the area is probably around $75 a month. So, and then this is just a slide showing some potential management automation solutions. So the future's kind of now, guys. We have companies that are setting up these management, softwares and kiosks that allow us to manage storage facilities without a property manager on site. This allows it so that so we don't have to hire somebody, or if somebody wants to get into their storage at a late hour, they can actually go up to something like a kiosk provided by, say, Open Tech Alliance. This is the Insomniac kiosk, which allows them to, just insert their payment, utilize an app to be able to just get in through the gate and to access their storage whenever they need to, without having to have a property manager there from 7 to 5 every day. Also, it allows you to get through the gate. It allows, security to not go off. There's a lot of things that are integrated together that the companies such as these are providing to make it as easy as possible for people that want to run these places. This is kind of the last slide here, but as stated before, we have a remaining 33 acres after those 5 that we intend to use. These are just some ideas that we might implement in the future. I'll draw attention to just a few of them. RV, boat storage, or some things that have been hit on, but also, like I said, we're very close to Ephraim and there's no recreational space in the area. There's very few, restaurants. Ramon was there. The city hub is Walmart. And then this spot, and I haven't emphasized enough, is also kind of equidistant from Wales, from Moroni, from Spring City. Mount Pleasant is very close by as well. So these storage units would all be able to be equally utilized by all the surrounding towns. And yeah, that's Yeah, that's basically it. Any questions? Connor?
I had a trivia question.
Okay.
It's the one that you told me today, like the percentage of people in the US who have storage units.
Yeah. So, who in the room thinks they can give me a rough estimation of how many people in the United States use storage? Or say they would use storage or have used storage?
Have you stored?
Yeah. Have, are using, or say they would.
75%.
75%. That's pretty high. It's pretty high. That'd be cool.
60.
60? Still a little high.
Sandra?
I'll say 48.
48, getting closer.
I know I use it.
I thought that'd be more.
I'm like sitting here like, I don't know.
Okay. A prize is on the line, so just shout out.
40.
40, perfect. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Which is actually a lot higher than any of us thought, you know. When I was thinking about who used storage units, I'm like, probably what, 10% of the population uses it. No, guys, almost half of, you know, United States citizens have used storage or will use storage.
Well, and does the population include little kids? Because if that's the case, like, what population are you saying?
Adult population.
Okay,
yeah.
because I was like, that definitely would change things.
Well, yeah, I'd be
But-
right at 75%.
Well, no, to be fair, a large percentage of people that utilize storage, we're looking at like baby boomers and not Josh, Gen
X?
Gen X.
Yeah.
That's the larger population that uses it.
What's this population in Ephraim again?
Ephraim, it's about 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Six-
believe it's like
remember
50
it said 16,000. Is that
16,000.
the college or?
Surrounding area.
Let me see.
St. Pete is 28,000.
I
It's
thought
a
it was
change from
28.
30,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
County
Yes.
population.
And by the way, like Ephraim is like, if you've never been there, it's so close to like all these other bigger, like, well, not bigger, but comparable sized cities like Spring City's smaller, Wales is smaller, but it's within like 6 minutes of it. What's the other one that's further north? I was there.
Moroni.
Not Moroni. Moroni, I know.
Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Mount Pleasant's, you know, about almost as big as Ephraim, and that's only like 10, 15 minutes away. So we would be looking at building something that's very sophisticated, very modern. If we're able to do it with the money that we're raising, right? We budget it. We know that we can do that with zero loan, with zero debt, and we're looking at capturing, right, clientele from all these surrounding cities. So, question for a prize: how far is this plot of land from Walmart? From Walmart. I said it earlier.
1 mile? It was right next door.
I said it in time.
Minutes.
3 miles?
Minutes.
It's in it. Oh,
Minutes.
minutes.
Oh, 6 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. There you go.
There you go.
Go ahead and select something.
You know
I
you want
let you,
something.
I let you win this time because I've already.
Thank you, Scott.
Very gracious.
Oh wow.
All right. I guess was that the last slide then?
Yeah, that was the last slide.
Alright.
Anything else you want to add? Ramon?
No. Any questions? This one is open, by the way, to non-accredited investors because it's a Utah deal, and the way we're structuring it is very differently. So we would be accepting investments that are smaller amounts. So, but any other questions?
And does anybody have any questions for Case Johnson? Legal or syndication or something like that? Do you have anything to
No. There's no questions.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you guys, joining us today. Thank you for your time. Hopefully, it was valuable. Hopefully, you got some good information, and you'll have our contact information if you have any questions. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And if you want to take a screenshot of the next presentation,